How are you doing this fine Friday?
Um, I'm very stressed a little bit because I'm trying to put the finishing touches on episode 3. And so I'm like slightly stressed because there's a lot of stuff going, that's almost done, and things that need to be moved around, and because the files are so big. But it's going to be a very great episode. Like, I'm so proud of the episode. It's really good. It's really informative. Tamar Braxton, Dr. LaCara Foster, and Dr. Heavenly Kimes is on this interview, and it's big. It's a lot of personality going on here. So we wanted to give it to you guys with as much entertainment as we could. And it was so much to go around, like to chop around. It's like, what do we keep? What do we not? It's a lot.
I know it's always good to look back on the stuff that you cut and maybe use it in the future for something else. But that sounds like a big show.
It is, and that's Tuesday. This Tuesday coming, that'll be the new episode for Turned Out with Ts Madison on Fox. So
Excellent. So, how is Turned Out with Ts Madison different from any of your previous projects?
Well, Turned Out with Ts Madison is different from my other previous projects because it's a combination of all my previous projects, all of them, all of it. And so you get the opportunity to see all the facets of Ts Madison in 1 hour special like that, boom. And you also get an opportunity to really see me having human moments with people. It's a lot of funny, a lot of fun, but it's a lot of laughter and healing and therapy, because each time that I have the opportunity to work with a guest or interview a guest or bond with them in our conversation, I always take a piece of me or find a fragment of me or find something that kind of mirrors me. And the learning experience that I take from that is that we are all no different from each other. It's like we're really all kind of like the same.
Absolutely. Yes. And you already touched a little bit on this, but what are some of the conversations you hope to have on the show?
Oh, lots of the conversation centers around, people's individuality, because I think that we need to respect everyone's individual being and understand that we are all individual, creatures. Yes, we have lots of similarities and we have, lots of things in common, but we are our own individual person. And when people really get to know a person, these are characteristics and traits that are unique to them and to me, and so a lot of the conversations is most definitely geared around, who authentically you are, or the guest is, I am, and it's also geared around, bridging the gap in between the communities, cishet people and LGBT people. So it's most definitely learning.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, the first episode was so great. Your car interview with Cherry was just, what a way to start off a new show, and
Yes.
the topics that you discussed, and even the touching on the spirituality aspect is very heartwarming, especially for, a queer person watching that to experience those kind of conversations. I'm really excited to see what else you have in store.
Episode 2 aired Tuesday. So you guys get caught up with episode 2. It's on Foxsoul, foxsoul.tv, the Foxsoul app. It's on your Roku players. I have a list of the streaming places here on my phone. I just got them today where it all streams from. But mainly people really like to watch this stuff on the YouTube channel because, as you get more engagements there and it's conversation, and we take pieces and stuff and we put it on our Instagrams, and it was really good. I have to say, I have to pat myself on the back. I really do. think that episode 1 was a very strong entry
Mm-hmm.
into, you know, the series, because it's like we touched on everything there, and we
Yeah.
cut up and had fun and laughed with the culture queens at the end. Yes.
So who is a guest that you would absolutely love to have on the show?
Ooh. I always say Jennifer Lewis is a guest that I would love to have on my show. Like, I would love to have her because I know that we would bond, you know, so greatly. And she and I spoke on the telephone, because I've talked about, like, whenever I got my own talk show, that she would be one of my dream guests. And she called me, like, she got my number from Shangela, and she called me, and I was like, ah. But I, you know, the pandemic has got that where, you know, she ain't doing all that, honey. She's not
Yeah.
going to be traveling. Jennifer don't play.
Yeah.
I want someone that's hard to break, because I'm a laughing person.
Mhm.
You can laugh with me. I'm gonna tell a joke, whether it's bad or nasty, you know, to loosen you up. You know, I'm gonna find a comfortable, sweet spot for you, and then I'm gonna ease on in, like, all right, girl.
Really get deep in there.
Yeah, like, girl, tell me. I'll tell you about me if you tell me about you. You know, and so I really want to get a guest that that's kind of hard to crack. Who? Mm-mm. My editor-in-chief said Candace Owens. I said,
Oh, okay.
because she may crack in another place.
Yeah, she may be a good one to crack.
You know what? That is a dream guest of mine. I want Lil Boosie. I want him because I really want to have a real extensive conversation with him. Extensive. And I want to start out by letting him know that I enjoy your artistry. I don't like you. And I don't know you to dislike you, but what you've displayed to the public, I don't like it.
Mhm.
And, you know, I would really explain to him why, you know, he's such a, what's the word when people, a contradiction. Because you need to, before you can talk about what a community does to the children of the world, you need to start out with what you do to the children in your home first. Because children are impressed on by what goes on in the house before they even see anything else in the world. And there's a lot of toxic masculinity and toxic femininity that are embedded into children, indoctrinated into children through the home. And what people really don't realize is that this stuff is passed down generationally. It's passed down. Because my first conversation that I would have with Lil Boosie would definitely start out with, why did you do that to your son? Why did you damage your sons and nephew by allowing a grown woman to perform sexual acts on them while they are in their teenagers? You don't know the damage that you have caused their families throughout, because you've created womanizers, you've created an emotional disconnect from a man, a boy and a woman, because now this boy is not going to have any emotional connection to any woman, because his first experience with a woman had no emotional connection, had no love, had no feeling, no anything. It was just, come suck me, come hunch me, you know. And yes, down the line, he may marry a woman, but this is always going to be impressed on him, because things that happen to you in your childhood stick with you all the way through your adulthood. That would be most definitely the first thing that I would address, like that. And I wouldn't make him feel bad about it. I would try to make him understand that this was passed to you, to your dad or your uncle, or whoever was, thought that he was making you a man, but he made you a detriment to, the same way that you say the gays and LGBT people are a detriment to society. You were created to be a detriment. Look at your lyrics and your songs. Look at how you fetishize women. Look at how you've caused the incarceration of the Black man. before you speak on anything that an LGBT person or queer person has done to influence kids in a malicious way, start in your house. Let's start there.
Absolutely, girl. That sounds like a whole hour show for that.
But you know what? I would have fun games with him. I would do fun games. I would do stuff with him. I would make him laugh. We probably would laugh and key and stuff like that. I probably, because I know how to, I know how to segue into stuff like that with people. But that is most definitely one of the things that I would really smother him in, making him look at the lens that the same lens he's looking at the queer and LGBT people through. I would make him see himself through that same lens and be like, whoa, you know what? I'm sorry.
So what do you hope that the viewers will take away from the show in general?
Personally, I hope that the viewers will take away humanity from the show. I want the viewers, while they're watching the show, to look past the fact that, I'm a trans woman, and just look at that I am a talk show host who happens to be trans, who is bridging the gap between the communities and really showing people how less different they are than they think.
That's great. And that actually segues me into the next question. Mm-hmm. In your opinion, how has the dialogue about the trans community, primarily trans women of color, evolved over the last few years?
We've had bits of changes, but we still have a long way to go. I do see a rise in deaths among, Black trans women of color. The death toll is still high, but I also see us being more prominent in film and television and talk and places. And it starts to make me wonder, the more visible we become, is it becoming more dangerous? Because it seems like the death toll just constantly rises each year. And so I'm like, is our visibility a part of that? Like us being more vocal about it? Because, I don't really live a stealth life. I can't live a stealth life, honey. I'm Ts Madison. But that just makes me wonder. I wonder with that. But I do think that there's lots more work to be done. I do think that that we need to definitely bridge the gap between cis Black women and trans Black women more. I think we need to do that. And I think that we're in the right path, but we just need to work more.
Readers, what would you say to someone from the LGBTQ community who is looking for an outlet or a platform to express themselves?
Well, the way that censorship is nowadays, it's insane. Like I really don't. I would say YouTube, because that's where I started chronicling, my day-to-day life and talking about the things that happened to me. But I live a very, busy life, and my life before this was a bit more obscure, and so I don't know how vocal I would say you could be in today's social media place, like with all the censoring, it's getting like out of control. I do feel like that censoring is a necessary thing, because we should respect people's pronouns and the way people live their life. We should respect these things, but we shouldn't be so censored to where we can't express our own self and our ideas and what and how we believe, to public. Like, hey, I chronicled my entire first maybe 15 years on YouTube. I remember my channel got deleted. It hurt me so bad, but my channel got deleted when I went through a little debacle back in 2017 with things that I don't like to bring up. But I used to have videos that dated back to the year 2006 and 5. of me just like chronicling my life, chronicling me going grocery shopping, chronicling me as a Black trans woman going through my day-to-day and allowing people to see me, you know, in public, because, you know, we really don't run into trans people like that, like, you know, because well, open trans people, because a lot of trans women have lived stealth lives. I was on there chronicling, hey y'all, this is me, Ts Madison. I'm in the grocery store. Oh, this man is following me. Hi, baby. Do you know I'm Ts? Like, I would do things like that, you know. And this is how I garnered the following that I had, because people were so, you know, caught up and swept up into my honesty and my authenticity. So I would tell a queer person that you try YouTube, but watch what you say now.
Yeah, now everybody's out to get you.
Oh, honey.
And so are there any other projects on the horizon that you're able to share?
Ooh. I can't share it, but there are
Okay.
more projects that are on the horizon. I will say that I'm going to be bringing an adaptation of one of my manuscripts to life, and it's going to be brought to a mini series, and I'm really excited about it. It's a major network, a major director, two major directors involved, and I really cannot wait for this. This is one of the projects that I've really been waiting for a couple of years now, because what's going to happen is I'm not going to be in front of the camera, but my story will be in front of the camera, and it will be, you know, graphically played out. And I'm so excited to see that, you know, come into fruition, kind of like a La Veneno situation. I'm so excited for it. So you have no idea how excited for it I am. I actually received a call about it today. The writers that are coming aboard, I was like, ooh, yes. So that I can say. I can't tell you who all the folk is, that I can say that a manuscript is coming to life.
Well, that sounds good. Well, you let us know and we'll jump on another call so that we can talk about it then.
Yes, we will definitely be talking about it, because when it hits, it's going to hit real hard.
All right. All right. And before we go, is there anything else that you'd like to share with the Instinct readers?
I'd like for you readers to make sure that you are following Fox Soul, Fox Soul's YouTube channel, Fox Soul's app, Fox Soul TV. Follow Ts Madison, honey. Y'all know how to find me. I'm always on the Instinct magazine. Y'all know how to find me. But I just want you guys to follow all of your dreams and know that anything that you believe in is possible. You just got to walk in it, know that it's yours, and go grab it.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been an honor,
David.
a real pleasure. Thank you so much. And I hope you
you
enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. You too, baby. Be good.
Bye-bye.
Bye.